a different trip this year, we decided to enter the Victorian High Country on the eastern side at Mansfield and travel in a generally easterly direction to a place on the Victorian-New South Wales border known as Groggin. Our path so far has us leaving Mansfield and camping at Buttercup Creek and then onto the Cobbler Plateau. After that, we were at our highest campsite ever at Picture Point, just north of Lovett's Hut. Then we were on the McAllister River for night 4 before a run down Billy Goat's Bluff track to camp at Black Flat, north of Dargo. We pick up still on day 7. After leaving Black Flat and having an exciting time descending Murdering Spur on our way to Dawson City, we encountered a muddy slop hole that has temporarily halted our progress. Last episode, we stopped here, unfortunately not in real life. A few seconds rewound and we plunge in. Okay. Don't slide into that shot. Oh, too late, I'm in there. And I'm stuck. My diff got caught. That's because guys with 35-inch muddies have gone through before me. So I've got to drag a winch out. I'll get a shovel and move some of that mud. Of course, getting out of the car is going to be easier said than done. The problem was, there was a high mud bank right beside the driver's door, which made it impossible to open it. Any movement in and out of the vehicle would have to be through the passenger door. No, I can't open the door. Oh, shit, I can't open the door because of the mud. And I can't get backwards.
I'm going to have to drag it.
You're going to have to drag it out, Dom.
So where am I going to take it?
We'll stop and ponder this one.
He's taking the stuff ready for us to hopefully winch out of this horrible mud hole. Sorry.
That mud is as slippery as any ice I've ever walked on.
All he needs now is a hanky on his head. Don't slip.
Now hop in and Adding to the problem was that it was a 30-degree day without a cloud in the sky, and we were in a clearing without a skerrick of shade. We were here for a little over an hour and I could feel myself burning. Here I'm building a traction board ramp, try and get some purchase with the front wheels and get up out of this huge wheel rut that I'm in. Getting back in the car was just as much fun as getting out of it.
Try it again.
Oh, by now you're probably wondering why I haven't just winched myself out. Well, it's pretty much that my winch has proved to be absolutely useless. It will wind in, but after that first pull, something inside must have given up the ghost. Now, as soon as the load is applied, it just loses all its guts and just won't apply any pulling force. The max tracks are going to have to be my only solution. Thank God I have them with me.
Keep slipping in. We'll try and go backwards.
Well, we persevered with this until I finally had to admit that the winch wasn't going to help me. My only option now is to use the max tracks and try and go backwards. However, that brought up another set of problems. The boards were now buried, hard to locate, even harder to get unstuck, and now each weighed a ton. It also doesn't help that I've got a crook back and the aerobic capacity of a rock.
Gross. Yuck. Cleaning the mud out of the max tracks is disgusting. Yuck.
As a final straw, one of the bloody things was still stuck under the front tyre.
Stuck under the tyre?
Still under a wheel.
Oh. You can just see the orange bit there. Wow, it's like cement. And there it is. Oh, I reckon after we get out of this, we'll have to go and wash them down at the river.
Burning.
Yeah, I bet. Wouldn't be helping you back either. Oh, jeez. No. Careful. Careful.
We didn't film the actual point where we got out of the bog. It all happened so quick. With the Max Tracks finally relocated to the rear, I was so keen to get out of here, I just jumped in and got almost immediate traction. So then I just didn't stop until I was clear. And I completely forgot to tell my darling wife to start filming. Bugger. Here we pick up on the aftermath, retrieving the useless winch stuff and ferrying all the muddy shite back to the river crossing to spend another hour cleaning the stickiest mud I've ever seen off all the gear. Water has no effect on it, and it all had to be scraped off. By the time we drove away, 2¼ hours had been lost.
That's not socks Alan's wearing, that's some mud. You can see, and that's what he just pulled the car out of. Somebody's really ripped up, and they're our Max Tracks. As you can see them, they're just bloody covered and caked in mud.
Yeah, just after we turned off Murdering Spur track onto Dane track, we covered about 100 metres. There's a big slop hole that guys with 35 inches of tyres had gone through, and of course they've created huge ruts either side, and we diffed out and spent the best part of 2 hours ginning about trying to winch. Couldn't go forward, winch wouldn't pull me out of the mud, so we had to max track it back out of there. That took forever, and about 16 resettings of Max Tracks. Covered in black, gooey, horrible mud. We spent another hour or so sitting in the creek cleaning Max Tracks and us. Wow. Yeah, not many people come down here.
Yeah. Branches.
Well, that caused us to change our thinking. Couldn't go the way I wanted to, so I had to take a different route, which is we're taking this little link track, barely marked on the map as a little brown dotted line. grateful it's still open at all. And we're about halfway back to our original Dane spur track. Car is overheating quite a bit. We spent a lot of time where the bog hole was all in the sun. There's no shade, so the car just sat in the boiling sun for 2 hours, mostly with the engine running because I needed to keep power up to the winch when we were using the winch. I couldn't get out of my door. The big mud hole we were in just precluded me from opening the door, so every time I had to get in and out to reset things and do shite and then drive a bit, I had to climb in through the passenger door and over the centre console and all the crap and corruption we've got in the middle here. It was fun, covered in mud. So there's mud all over the console, the seats. Not us though, because we, as I said, spent an hour sitting in the river cleaning Max tracks. Oh, sorry, Susan's trousers are filthy. Well, my trousers are too. It was excruciatingly slippery. That bloody mud, you could get no traction at all trying to walk around it in Crocs. Not a chance in the world. Just slipping all over the place. Real black, yeah, river mud. It took us hours to clean it in the river. The water had absolutely no effect on it. It just washed over it like it was silicone. Every bit had to be washed by hand and scrubbed, and the mud actually picked off. The water wasn't washing it away. Anyway, we'll continue on this wonderful track until we get back onto our original route, and then hopefully off to see a dog's grave. Well, we've been thwarted yet again. The track we were on, the shortcut to the Danes track and then onto Messmate Spur track turned out to be a fizzle. Messmate Spur track is closed. There's a great big tree, there's all sorts of crap amongst it. There's just no way to get through, so I've had to backtrack. Means we're going up the really scrambly and loose rocky hills that we came down, and backtracking all the way back to the start of this link track. This essentially means we're going to have to miss the dog's grave and just go directly across to go head straight to Dawson City and Haunted Stream. It's not a big deal, but I would like to have seen the dog's grave. I'll have to put that on my list for another day. It's runs like that I'm really glad I've got brand new tyres on. Well, with all the closed roads and detours and boggings and everything that conspired to screw us around today, and overheating engine, we ran out of time really, so we cheated and came into Dawson City not by boomerang spur track like I wanted to, but along this two-wheel drive track with one little drop down into the actual location in 6 kilometres time. It's not evident right here, but just back behind us the fire had been through there. All the trees are black and just covered in regrowth. Fire obviously never made it here. With a bit of luck it never went down to Dawson City.
Singed a few.
Singed a few, yeah.
Fire's 1.2 million hectares.
Yeah, there wasn't much of the Victorian High Country that hasn't had a bushfire through it in the last 10 years. Okay, we found the track down to Dawson City, nearly missed it. It's very difficult to see. Let's pop it into low range. Dawson City, here we come. Please nobody be there. Well, the trees have been blackened by fire. We've still got crowns on them, so it couldn't have been really extensive. And the foliage underground is undergrowth is untouched. So perhaps the 2019 fires didn't come here. These might be the 16 ones. Last time we visited, we came out this track, and it had been raining overnight, right down the bottom near the actual campground. The hill out of there, we had to winch ourselves up because it lost traction. Was hoping you'd get it.
Is that the road we'll take?
One of them.
Lots of people here too.
Is there someone way over there as well?
Yeah. So it's 3 lots. There's a big tree down there.
Alright, where are we going to camp? Swing over there, right there?
That's where we were last time, wasn't it?
Oh, pretty close to it.
They're going. Looks like packing up.
In my original plan, I'd wanted to be here a day later and celebrate New Year's Eve in this beautiful spot. But my travel estimations were a bit out, and we arrived a day early. We were, however, to kick our heels up at Limestone Creek instead. But that's tomorrow's story, as is the run along Haunted Stream track. This is something we tried to do on our honeymoon trip in 2016, but fires did close the track then. Can't wait to do that.